of the world. Cool.
Sure.
Bro.
I'll see what I can find.
I can buy. Yeah, I think I don't think I'm going to read them anymore. I think it's a bit wasteful. 'Cause if people want to read it, they can just go on a wiki, I suppose. Keep searching the obscured leaves, clues for something. For those who seek.
Welcome.
An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks as tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she managed to look down her nose at you. You're welcome to look around, but let the priest and scriveers continue their search. She shoots the nearest robed figure a withering glare. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. What are they looking for? Maybe I can find it. She seizes you up, stroking her chin, and I could trust you to bring it back, I suppose. She scowls for the robed priest again. You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot anyway. Thieves made off with an ancient scroll of whale. They intend to blaspheme by selling that which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 visions. Her wily eyebrows arc over her spectacles. The guards caught one of them, but were overzealous with their interrogation. All they could piece together was something about a farmhouse and a road to Diefut. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back the scroll. Whale rewards the persistent seeker, and so do I. An ancient scroll of whale. There's a fine prize, a worthy task. What else do you need? I had questions about the missing scroll. Tell me about the thieves. Very little is said that they were foolish to believe they could steal from the god of secrets. That and they were fleeing to a farmhouse. How should I handle them? However you can. Kill them, rob them, leave them. It makes no difference to me. She waves a hand and smiles grimly. I'll consider it one of Wind's mysteries. What's so special about the scroll? Whale is a god of secrets. If I told you that, I'd cheapen it, wouldn't I? It's a parable, the kind of nourishes that inquisitive mind and poisons the foolish. I am High Activist of Hall of Revered Mysteries. She coughs loudly into her fist, and I am too old and too busy to be bothered with inane questions. Even just one or two. I'd like to know about Whale. Her smile reveals a row of crooked teeth. That's the rub, isn't it? Whale is the god of things hidden and revealed. The more of 100 visions one sees, the more one has yet to discover. Though we often call Whale he who sees and he who not seen, it is neither male nor female. To assign any definitive characteristics to Whale is to miss another essential part of its divinity. 100 visions, a term of reverence for Whale's many revelations. Despite the name, they're infinite. Each epiphany leads to yet another enigma. And I thought I was busy. Find the scroll. Okay, Cookie.
Have you ever chased a skirt wizard, or do you merely hide behind them?
Don't pawn your personal problems off on me.
They will use you, cast you off when it suits them, never speak another word to you.
Maybe they just don't answer to fiery whore.
Light, flame, and sound will keep...
They didn't quite like each other. So we have to go here, I believe. About the plot. one. Tactical. Gonna be searching everywhere anyway, so I may as well just hold it. Too long before a formal night. Brackenberry, Ordner's Gift, Valerian Embassy. Temple. That's the temple.
Politics, infighting, greed, and a shrine to Margaret as well. Her clergy belongs there.
Italy.
How do you do?
Who wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quite interest. Any news to share? I was just here to see the Ducal Palace. Ducal Palace? It's the seat of government here in Defiance Bay. This is where Duke Amath Hadrit declared freedom from Adrian rule some 150 years ago. She lowers her voice and grins. It's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city. Ah, Deerwood politics. It changed too quickly to be worth keeping up with. Better to strike up conversations at the taverns than try to loiter inconspicuously in the palace corridors. Here you. I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duck and his advisors. The pay's not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics. What's on here? She laughs. Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings and ceremonies, and that's just the stuff that happens out in the open. She leans a little closer. This is where the Duck and his key advisors work, so there's always some bartering for a favour. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to ask about the side of things. But if you want the official version, she clears her throat and gestures counterclockwise around the palace. We have a shrine devoted to Magran, official records and chambers for public hearings and council meetings. Tell me about the shrine. It's a symbol of Magran's protection of Defiance Bay. She represented the revolutionary spirit of Deerwood ever since independence, and her involvement in creating the Godhammer bomb only affirmed her importance to us. That's also where the first of the sacred fires burn, but Fyrga, the tranquil ardent, has had trouble keeping them lit. What kind of records are stored here? Mostly dull official stuff, census, tax, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. I got curious one day and got drafted into resolving half of the records. What's their verdicts? Is there a hearing going on now? Sure is. Duck Affairs been meeting with some of the city leaders for weeks now, trying to figure out how to address the legacy. The whole business is terribly secret though. I tried to sit in the gallery during my lunch break one day and got turned away. She sniffs. But a lot of talk concerns animancy, so there's a good reason they're keeping the meetings behind closed doors. Their legacy. Wayan's legacy. That's what a lot of people call the rash of Hollowborn. The theory goes that it's punishment for meddling in animancy. So why is animancy so controversial? She laughs. Where to begin? Traditionalists think it's a crime against the gods. There's no question that poking around in souls is risky, but the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that animancy research often involves old Ingwithian relics that were illegally looted from ruins in Erglafan. She makes a quick twitching motion with her index and middle fingers. What are the Hollowborn? We know what they are. You really are fresh from the road. Hollowborn are children born without souls. They often don't live for very long, and those that do have generally reviewed some kind of treatment from the animancers. But what do you think of them? Me, I think the real danger of animancy is confusing a real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day. Some poor couple in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on a miracle cure for their unborn child. It never works. She shakes her head. Breaks your heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them. Tear out the current duck. That would be Affair Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you though. Our ducks have been elected since independence. Some find Duck Affair rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs. Okay. Okie dokie. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go to Hall of Records for Edir, don't we? Edir. People with official invitations are allowed. Where's that go, folks? Is that like outside? Outside. 2 entrances to the same place.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Most bright Morgan, transform us with your flame.
Well met, friend.
Woman's head is bowed as her lips move in prayer. Just as you approach, you catch her glimpsing at a statue near you. She notices you and forces a smile. Praise be to Morgan, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service? You seem upset. What's wrong? Her shoulders slump. This is about the fires, isn't it? She puts a hand on your shoulder. They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. Pyres? We know what they are. The sacred pyres all around town. You must have seen the statues of the goddess around the city, holding up empty braziers. I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now, and people need to see them more than ever these days. So go light them again. I see plenty of flames here. What does that mean? It's my devotions and prayers that keep them lit, but lately when I try to pray, all I can think about are the Hollowborn all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. She shakes her head. How could Magran allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? Oh, here we go. Grant grins with disdain. What strength do we gain from adversity, from trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith. They wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to a whore. Oh, a whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services, and Magran is paid and pleasured in sweet and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magran's womanly heat. Take heart and don't abandon your faith so easily. She nods hopefully, her hands clasped together. You're right. And fortunately, I believe my grand's been speaking to me again. She cast a quick glance in your direction. There are some things you can know without quite understanding them. If I'm not mistaken, you seem to know what I am. Lately I've been seeing visions, a place in the wilderness with pools filled with some burst of colour, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even while they splash into the earth. She raises her hands as if framing an image of her vision, and behind the falls is a cave filled with fire and heat and danger and some token of my goddess. I know there's something there, but where is it? Or how did I get there? She shakes her head. I've been meaning to ask around at the expedition hall to see if anyone recognises the description. To be honest though, I don't know what I'll do, even if I found the place. Worthless, like so many of Magran's flock, afraid of her god's test. If Mogran speaks to her, it is to hasten an end to an hypocrite's life, and this vision is surely a death trap for the weak. I'd like to know about the temple. Magran is the most revered goddess among the Dyrwoodians, so it's no surprise that her temple is part of the ducal palace. Her fires symbolise trials, revolutions, and the blazing of new paths, all of which are important to us. She gestures to the statue. This is the first of the sacred pyres. When this is lit, so are the rest around the city. Something else. What's its significance? They symbolise Morgan's power and guidance, and right now the people of Divine Spain need to be assured of her presence. She crosses her arms, staring at the statue. Our neighbours in Filian republics see us as superstitious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of the gods. I found a map pinpointing the location of a place called Searing Falls. It's a long journey, but at least I know where it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that thing I found, that's what it was. Okay. Keeper of Records. You have to speak to them, don't I?
Good day, stranger.
A taciturn man with greying hair pores over a tome he's just withdrawn from one of the shelves. He glances up at you with baggy eyes. Yes, is there something I can pull for you? Hey, I'm looking for military records from the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. The man clears his throat. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there are still quite a number of folk in Deerwood who bear ill will toward uh, Yatsirans. Yatsirans? I always pronounce that wrong. Doesn't matter what I do. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came to settle here as refugees. Perhaps if you were more established in Divine Space, things would be different. But I have no reason to suspect you to be any different from the others. Take what I want. Do I want to be aggressive? I don't think I want to be aggressive. I just need to find out about my brother. I don't even know what side he fought for. You must understand, I have heard many such stories. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. I could be an ass, but I'm not going to. I could be an ass. Fragments of a sacred flame. You'd have higher reputation, I guess. I have to go over there anyway. Heritage Hall, see what's there.
Good day, stranger.
Guard holds up a palm. Sorry, but this district's closed by order of the doc himself. Get inside. Trust me, you don't want to, the guard shrugs, but if you really set on seeing this for yourself, I suppose you have to get permission from Whaler at the keep and first fires. Would some coin open the gate? Both guards look at each other. Look, even if I were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I can say is that, whatever it is, started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talked of something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more of that. Do I want to go in then?
Hail, traveler.
Getting a lot of trouble with this. Not like you can make it worse than that. Well, alright.
And what does the flame reveal?
I think we'll go there and then we'll go there to pick up this thing. Well, this is a weird place. The Philarian Embassy. What to do with Alof?
Slow and silent.
Oh, this would be our Church of Woodica. Dear Woodens. Probably the first thing we burned during the Revolution.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail.
There's a ghost,
Come to
folks.
pay your respects to the queen that was.
Hovers in the middle of the ruin, reciting blessings and prayers. Even as the spirit's form shift and swirls, it retains the fate of an early man and robes that mark wealth and status. It turns to you. You're you. Lord
Ardwellen Rugford
Oh,
III. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia, and unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
It's truly a pity to see what the locals have done to Woodicut's house of worship. I was told I'd find the temple of Woodicut here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
Stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
I can get in by the catacombs. Tell me where I'll find the entrance to these catacombs.
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
So what are you doing?
Worshipping Woodica, the exiled queen and Oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
I'd like to know more about Woodica.
A queen among the gods. She oversees laws and oaths. Everything has a rightful place, and Woodica watches over them all. Of course, not everyone accepts this. Even among the other gods, her authority is questioned. But Woodica is also goddess of memory and vengeance, and she remembers. She'll remember every slight and trespass when she reclaims her throne.
You know that you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
I'm serious. Just look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
Eardrow's up next to you. You're right. Looked almost like you've lost your footing for a minute. It happens from time to time. It feels that way when I see into the ether. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually such individuals become elders, or a lone set of tracks in the snow. She cocks her head. I wouldn't have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you see. But looking at you, I'm not so sure. My abilities are a blessing. See what you observe, but looking at you, I'm not so sure. Neither am I. Believe it or not, I once would have rejoiced to know I'd pick to travel far and search for something great. But even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real witcher before. Oh, don't worry about him. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time he goes a little strange in the face, I try and see if I can hear anything. Kana grins. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirits say.